Good afternoon or good morning, depends on the time that we meet. This is a pleasure to be joining you this afternoon. We are beginning a new series of presentation with historical and social contents. This series will cover some Haitian champion and also some matters that are worth to know in the Haitian society. We will begin by presenting you a very famous and prominent figure in the Haitian history, one that we call a champion of human rights. His name is Toussaint Louverture. Toussaint Louverture was a house slave and coachman. He was born in the northern side of the country and was very slim physically. I will underline or highlight two important facts about his life. One, that he learned to read and write at the age of 40. And second, his innate leadership and skills allowed him to rise to prominence as the grandfather of the Haitian Revolution. Between 1793 to 1801, Toussaint was the most important figure of the Haitian Revolution because he was the one organizing the slave revolution and ended up becoming the commander-in-chief to such an extent that France recognized him as a governor general, but his main goal was to establish a Haiti that was freed from slavery. Now, a parenthesis to open for you is that in 1799, France's revolution disbanded the royal governance to replace it by a republic. And the republic make provision for every man to be equal in front of the law. And so those ideas permeate any link with France, and Toussaint Louverture wanted to take advantage of that. As a result, found it more appropriate to cooperate with France instead of the British or the Spain, because they had a royal governance, which is the case to this day. Unfortunately, the leaders in France were not really serious about abolishing slavery. And so Toussaint Louverture took matters to his hand and profit of the provision of the declaration and freed the slave. Because not only Sontonax, a French commissioner, declared the slave free, that was a strategy to make cooperation with French attractive for the slaves. But a few months later, which is in February 1794, the National Assembly, which will operate under the Republican governance, fully confirmed the abolition of slaves. So that sustained and supported and substantiated Toussaint Louverture's decision to remain on the French flag, but slowly moving toward an independent Haiti. Now, it was not so serious that France wanted Haiti to be free or Saint-Domingue to be free. Napoleon Bonaparte dispatched 20,000 troops along with General Leclerc, and they betrayed Toussaint Louverture arrested him, take him to France, and their goal was to restore the slavery system. But Toussaint Louverture, upon his arrest before departing to France, told his traders that by taking me out of the Saint-Domingue, you're cutting the trunk of the freedom tree, but it will rise by its roots, because they are deep. Today, my friend, I consider what Toussaint said a prophecy, because you, me, Ariana, Abigail Alexandre, and whoever is working to preserve, consolidate, and expand the Haitian heritage through arts, science, work, labor of all sorts, they are part of the roots that Toussaint was referring to. And based on that, there's hope for Haiti. And I want to remind you that if you have discarded your objectives, thinking that you're too old, think of Toussaint Louverture, who learned to read at the age of 40 and became a prominent figure in our history. Your days, no matter how far you are, you're not done. And I would say no matter how far things go in Haiti, despite the chronic challenges and the decline, I still believe that there are roots that will rise in Haiti. If you believe so, share, subscribe, and join me in letting people know that the champion that Toussaint was still is alive in us as part of our heritage. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you for sharing. It's a pleasure to bring to you these little bits of history and a way to ignite in you the sense of consciousness that we have to cultivate and holding dear our Haitian heritage. This was Will Naludis for B Plus Connection. I'll see you again in another presentation. Bye-bye.